Hello, welcome to the round 23 preview as the Carlton Football Club are set to take on the West Coast Eagles 4:40 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon in Perth. Back to the graveyard we go. It's been a tough stretch. Everyone's got a breaking point. I definitely reached mine this week. I was actually kind of okay Sunday. Monday, not the worst, but still upset. Tuesday, complete spiral. I think when you absorb, you can only absorb so much. And so got to Tuesday morning and I was just like, enough, out. Like an out-of-body experience telling me, stop, get away, stop talking about it, stop thinking about it. I was meant to go on the jumper punch on Tuesday night and had to, cancel. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't sit for, any more longer and rehash last Sunday because, it was bad. Preparation was awful. It was atrocious. It was what it was. And I think more than anything, it's just, I believe when I believe in something, it's not the hope that kills you, it's the belief. When I believe in something, I go properly all in. And I mean, there's believing and there's appreciating the process. And I understand that this is all one big journey and it's going to be excruciating and there'll be breaking points along the way. And I really completely and utterly understand that. But I think when you see the heights that we were able to reach this year and the form that we were in and the players that were still to come back into the side, and I guess you just build a narrative in your head about, what's possible, and then you get that validated amongst the supporter base who are also feeling it and then, to believe in it and then to be challenged and then, week after week, little bit by little bit, you sort of see some of the hunger dip, but you still believe, and then I think it all just comes to a head when you lose like that last week, and it doesn't help when you lose 6 players to injury. I mean, you have a look at it. It's honestly laughable. Like, you have to laugh at the amount of injuries we now have, especially just from one game. Harry and Charlie, and it's like there's something otherworldly that is forcing the club, and that everyone, all of us, to just learn again. Something else that we haven't quite picked up on, and that's just what it feels like. It might be something as simple as you just change the strength and conditioning coach and everything magically gets fixed or whatever. I don't know. But I think the point of what I'm saying is, when you believe so heavily and then the bubble bursts, that's difficult. And then you sort of, I've spent the last 24 hours just realigning. I'm like, all right, the sun comes up. Of course it does. It's just football. There's a dark world out there and there's really awful things happening. And of course you have to compartmentalize it. I'm very well trained in doing that with the Carlton Football Club. And it's just magical that, for a period of time, we can believe that the glorious day will come. So that's that. But, now we face a West Coast Eagles side who, similar to us back in the day, get to this point in the year and there's no pressure. Just go for it. Struggle to win games over the last couple of years. They might smell blood. Who knows? I would assume we're going to see some young boys playing. Harry and Charlie both to miss it's just unbelievable. Harry, Charlie, Jack, Martin, Sard, Boyd, Fogarty, the rest. Who else? So, in essence, like what I think we can finally be unpredictable. That's for sure. Whether they play Harry Lemmy, young fella, whether they put McGovern or Kemp forward, who knows? But I think that the beauty in what we're going to see this week is it's going to be unpredictable. So that could be a silver lining, some fresh energy into the team, injected into the team. And so, that might give us a little something to look forward to and think about the future with. And ultimately what the rest of this season will be is to get a bit of a dress rehearsal. Maybe they can try some things and find out who and what is going to help us move forward. I've listened to a lot of rhetoric from the fan base, from the media, from everyone. And I understand the whole, I don't want to play finals. It would be good for this group and this club to not play finals because they might get ahead of themselves. I don't agree. I don't agree with not striving for finals. I don't agree with giving up ever. I just don't think that's the club we want to be. I don't think that's who we want to be as people. And I think if anything, it's let's just say make finals and bundle out whatever and make up the numbers. Well, let's not get ahead. Let's not allow the club to get ahead of themselves, and let's not as a club get ahead of ourselves. Let's still understand that, adjustments and amendments have to be made. So I just think along the journey, I would assume and I would guess that you need as much finals experience as possible. And if you have to work your way into a final series where it's stacked against you and you got injuries and your best team's not out there and it's hard, good. It's meant to be hard. It's meant to be difficult. It's meant to throw us around. I really am. I'm down for that. I'm down for the shit fight. I'm down for it to throw me around and just keep coming back. And, the support will never stop. Anything that ever gets said here on this channel is always from a place of love. Always. So that needs to be understood. And I think it is. I do believe it is. But we've got to get serious and we've got to get real. And yes, it's a process, but it's a process of a number of moments. And right now, there is still a lot in our control. I understand we're not going to be at our best this week. It's not going to be the best version of us. But I think what it's going to force the team to do this week is get back to fighting. Like real dogfight, blue collar work ethic. Because you can't rely on your talent. You have to work your ass off. There's still a lot of talent out there, to be honest. But we are going to need an even spread of contributors. We're going to need to really knuckle down and the application defensively has to be at the highest level we've seen all season. And maybe losing the stars and losing the big names is the only way for us to get back to that. Whatever happened 6-7 weeks ago with motivations and habits and, one thing slipping away leading to 2 to 3, I guess we'll unpack that in the off season and, maybe decisions will be made. But, for now, you got 2 games against sides who, they both haven't had great seasons. The Eagles are in this phase of their development. They've lost their coach. They've got it's us like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, like literally it's us. And then you got the Saints after that. Obviously this is the West Coast preview, so maybe we just stick to that. But I just can't stand the thought of them showing up on Sunday and sort of playing out, with this lethargic energy. A lot of things don't make sense. The club has an amazing way of putting a surprise into things. I don't know. Maybe I'm the wrong person to be making this comment, but I just never saw this coming. They find a way to surprise me every time. Maybe others did and they saw the signs from the GWS game and that was the end of the season. I was so accepting that there would be a form dip. I truly was. But I guess not to this level where it doesn't look great. It looks pretty scary. So, yeah, what are we going to see this week? Well, just have to take the foot off. In terms of investing in so much belief, I do believe we can win this game. I truly do believe we can win this game. I believe it's going to be extremely difficult to do so. It's funny. It kind of reminds me. Do you remember when we played West Coast in 2021? When we played them in Sydney and they had a lot of players out, and we played, essentially their waffle team, and and they beat us. Maybe I'll go back and watch those fan cams just for a little bit of therapy. Actually, no. I think less Carlton talk is probably what's needed this week. But yeah, it's really a test of the resolve of the group, And there's been a lot of talk this week around the language that we use, and we want them to be a little bit real and not be so robotic. Let's call a spade. And to be fair, I thought for the first time in a long time, I saw Jacob talk. Like, that was Jacob. That was real. Like, it was. He was put out in front of the media, and then you can't win in this game because we want them to use the right language, and then when they use the right language, it's stop talking and show us. But I genuinely thought that they got it right when they said it's for our fans, it's for our families. I did like that sentiment, and maybe I'm just looking for something to latch onto. But I mean, I do believe language is important. It's not as important as actions, obviously, but that was the first time I was able to really move forward with looking into this week, and there it was. That was the thing that they highlighted from his press conference. And to be fair, they threw him out there, and he just kept having all these questions lobbed at him, and he just took it. So I did see a little bit of something in that. I took something from that. I don't know if you did, but I definitely took something from that. Just the honesty. I took the honesty from that, and that's something that I think we've been looking for. And once you get honest, then you can move forward. Once you come to the realization and you be honest with yourself, it's the only way you can then move forward and change your reality. So we've got 2 more games left, one at a time. If these are the final 2 games of the season, so be it. We are going to miss the football. We're going to miss having something to be angry about and sad about. We're going to be bored in the off season. I understand the cycle of football. I truly do. I live and breathe it. Probably a little bit too much, if I'm being honest. The balance is disproportionate. So, we've just got to soak it up, enjoy what we do have before it's gone for another season. I don't think it's all completely lost. There is an opportunity. You can't deny that there is an opportunity. There absolutely is. And there's an opportunity for new players to come in and prove themselves. There's an opportunity for players to stay in the side. There's just opportunity everywhere. That's the way I'm looking at it. So that's that. How are you going? How are you looking forward to Sunday's match? It's going to be a long wait. We're going to watch every single game in the round before we play, which means we will be at our lowest point, I guess, on the ladder before we play the game, and then we'll see what they dish up. But yeah, share with us in the comments below, where are you at for this game? What are you thinking? Who would you like to see? And what are you looking forward to? And I guess, what does the next couple of days look like? It feels like a day-by-day proposition at this point. So how are you going to deal with that? Chat to you then. Go Blues.